Hi everyone, Dee here from Homestead Rewind. Today I want to talk about learning lessons. One of the reasons I started this channel to try and encourage people that they can grow things. I know a lot of people say, oh no, I can never grow nothing, I kill a plastic plant. But the point is, if you try, there's no rule that you have to follow. It's your seed, it's your dirt, it's your plant. Plant it the way you want and see what happens. Experience is the best teacher. You truly do learn the best lessons by teaching yourself. This is my lavender plant. I think that putting the pine mulch on the lavender plant was a big mistake. People told me that there was too much acid in pine shavings, and I wanted to find out for myself if that was true. And for some plants, it is true. Lavender does not like pine shavings. Neither did my lemon trees. I'm hoping that they'll pull out of it, but it's not looking likely. Everything else, though, is doing really good. And they have the pine shavings on them. Look at that tomato. I topped it out, and I hope that it wasn't a mistake. It's just getting too big, and I have, as you can see, nowhere to trellis it to. It is going to produce me some tomatoes, though. And remember, this is my volunteer cherry tomato plant. So remember the garbanzo bean experience? Well, they're still on there, and they're still getting bigger. It's starting to dry out now. I'm just going to save them. I'm just going to wait until it completely dries up. The potato plants are still doing well. That tomato is not doing well with those potatoes. I'm gonna have to get that out of there. I'm starting to get some of this powdery mold on my potato plants, and that's making me a little nervous. They did actually bloom a little tiny bit, but not a lot. So I'm thinking that probably pretty soon that the potato plants are gonna come out, and we'll see if I have any potatoes under there. So I did plant the purple bush beans, but they're not bush beans. That's what it said on the package. Purple bush beans. They're vining, so I don't know how well they're going to do there. Okay, so the cauliflower. Yeah, whatever bug I've got is different than the one I had originally, but the Vicks did work for that original one, but now weeks later I've got something else attacking them. I know that they're not going to make a cauliflower head, but they were really pretty plants, and I'm pretty happy that I actually got them to grow, which is something that I never have done before. I'll probably be pulling those up pretty soon and planting something else there. My cilantro seeds are making, and I was watching a YouTube video to try to figure out how to harvest those. And the man that I watched said that you just need to let them dry on the vine. So I got to keep a close eye. I don't want them to split and seed themselves. I want to save those seeds for next year. An eggplant just popped up and started. I mean, I guess it's an eggplant. I had planted some eggplant seeds and they never did come up. But now I have this, and I think it's an eggplant. And it just popped up and started growing. Guys, this year I'm going to have squash. Camper garden squash. Yay! Look at this radish plant. It just keeps growing and growing. But I have seed pods on there, and some of them look like they're getting close to time. I'm going to wait for them to all dry out and save my radish seeds. Okay, so remember the experiment with the bush tomatoes? I planted these in the same exact soil at the same exact time, and I covered this one with my pine shavings, my pine mulch shavings, and it grew fast. I left them off of that one, but since I've put them on, look at that, it's taking off like crazy. Don't know if it's the pine shaving. Look guys, I'm not an expert by any means. Here's my started from seed tomato plant. It's doing well. I would say that the pine shavings could have a factor in this pepper plant. I don't want to say that for sure because I've got pepper plants on the other side of the camper that are doing just fine with the pine shavings. So I want to show you the difference in the pepper plants. These are the ones, they still have the pine, they still have the pine mulch in them, but you can see they're doing so much better. They're even getting nice peppers on them. And I'm wondering if maybe perhaps the peppers that are over on the other side, the full sun is causing the problem. And maybe I need to bring those peppers over here out of that sun. Okay guys, so now I want to talk about my ferns. Remember I split the 2 ferns a couple, 3 weeks ago? They're doing fantastic, doing great in their pots. And so I went ahead and did all the rest of them. And so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 2 in the front. And I did get another one, 8. This was growing out of the bottom of the pot. And so I just cut it off and put it in there. We'll see if it grows. So 8 ferns for $16. That's a pretty good deal. So when I got inside the fern plants and was cutting them, they have these round, like roots or root nodes or something. I'm not sure what they are or what they're for in the plant, how it works. I think maybe I can grow some from it. So I actually saved some from the fern plant and put it in a little container. We'll see if it grows or not. I'm not real sure what those are. Anybody knows, leave it in the comment. Tell me about that. Here's my comfrey. I had to literally move it over here. I think the squirrels were eating my comfrey. But you can see it's doing really, really well. I'm going to try making a poultice with this comfrey and put it on my knee that keeps swelling up and see if that helps. I am surprised that the plants are doing so well in this filtered sunlight. All these years I have thought that you had to have plants out in the sun full day. When it says full sunshine, that's what I took it for. I'm figuring out now that that's not exactly what that means, and we'll see if I have a harvest from this. I am container gardening, and that could have something to do with it. Maybe plants are probably not going to do as well in a container as they are out in a garden per se, a raised bed garden, which is what I'm going to do at the homestead. But they are growing in filtered sunlight. And they look good. We'll see if they produce food or not. Look at my sweet potatoes. I put the trellis up the side of the tree. I'm gonna have to tie it there at the top because we don't put nails in the trees. But I think that's gonna grow right up that. It's gonna be really pretty. Check out my 2 rainwater catchment barrels that are headed to the homestead soon. Last week when we checked our game cam number 4, we come up with this weird creature. We can't decide for sure what it is. Here's a picture. That's weird, huh? I'm not sure. Take a guess. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think it is. We don't know. Man, it's hot and humid. Rosie doesn't even want to come out of the camper. She stays in the air conditioning. I want you guys to be encouraged to try to live a more sustainable life. That is the purpose for my homestead channel. When it comes to planting a garden, don't be scared. Just get out there and try. If you plant a seed, it may grow or it may not grow. But no matter what, you have learned something. You will learn. You will learn every time you plant a seed. My homesteading friends, Doug and Stacy, tell me that putting your hands in the soil helps relieve depression. I believe it. Don't paralyze yourself by overthinking everything. Just plant the seed in some dirt. Accept that you're going to make mistakes. That's how you're going to learn to be a successful gardener. Some updates about the farm is last weekend, the log splitter arrived. Something that we really needed the first time we had our homestead, but now we've got. We're banking equipment and getting ready for that return home in the fall. Well, I think that's about it for today. If you're interested in following my homestead rewind journey back to the farm, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and you can support me doing this. Also, like and be sure to comment on some of the questions and what is that creature? I may have more of those coming up. So keep growing, everybody. Learn how to bloom where you're planted. Peace and love to everyone.